right, well, this first shot we're going to try is called topping the ball or hitting it thin. Really, topping the ball is hitting the ball with the bottom edge of the club on the top of the ball, causing the ball to obviously not get in the air and just scoot along the ground. Some people call them little worm burners. It's really probably the most common thing that people do when they very first start. And really a lot of the causes of this is just really way too much movement. So let me kind of simulate a little bit of this for you. What a lot of people will do is, first of all, they won't line up with the club actually on the ground. They'll line up above it. And when you're actually coming in and swinging, however you line up, however you address the ball, typically is how it's going to hit, that's how the impact is going to be. So as you line up, make sure that the club is on the ground, just behind the ball. Now the biggest reason what people do is, this is usually caused in the backswing, where people will take the club back and their first movement is up. If you notice that with my knees just came up, so I'm up here, and they don't ever rebend their knees. And I'm sure when you very first start, you're going to do this, swing right over the ball, and kind of feel a little bit dumb. It can also be somewhat painful sometimes, because if you're swinging at nothing really hard, you can pull things. So you really want to try to be careful with that part. So, and then the other thing that a lot of people will do is they'll come level, but they'll lift their head up. If you lift your head up, if your head comes up, your upper body's going to come up. And keep in mind, it only takes maybe a ½ inch to come up, and now you're up above the ball, and now you're hitting the edge, the bottom edge of the club onto the ball, which is just going to cause it to skid along the ground. So really what you want to make sure that you're doing is you're really wanting to stay level. I always tell my students, keep the same knee bend. In other words, however you bend your knees on a dress, keep that bend. Don't go up, don't go down, keep that solid. And on your backswing, make sure that your first movement is to the side. It's not an upward. It is simply to the side, and that will help you keep everything level. So we're going to try a couple of shots where I'm actually topping the ball and then I'm fixing it so that you can actually see what we're talking about here. Okay, so as you can see, any kind of lifting up is going to directly translate into how I actually am impacting that ball. So keeping everything level, only thing that's going to be moving is going to be the shoulders. Shoulders and hips. Keep the head straight and really concentrate on keeping everything level. Now when you're doing all this troubleshooting, you're really only going to be able to work on one thing at a time. So as you fix one thing, you may find the ball slices or something else, but don't worry about that kind of thing. Fix the one specific problem. If topping the ball is the problem, fix that, and then we're going to be doing a bunch of other things that you'll be able to fix when slicing happens, or you hook it or something like that. So real nice, get a nice stance. Don't rush this stuff either. Don't just get up there and just try to hit it. Really think about what you're doing. Go through that progression. Get all that solid so that you can really hone in on the problem. Okay, so I got a nice stance. Now all I'm going to do is concentrate on the problem of lifting up. And I'm not going to really concern myself with where the ball's going to go. I just want to make a nice hit, just a nice impact. Again, nice, solid. A lot of times it also helps in between balls to take some practice swings like you do in some of the, when we did the range video and also the playing video. Let's practice those things. A lot of times when you're doing troubleshooting, I'm sure you've heard of like shadow boxing where they're just practicing. Well, it's the same type of thing in golf. You need to shadow swing. In fact, I think we'll just coin that phrase. Do some shadow swing. Right hits a first on Golf for Newbies, shadow swinging. You're practicing hitting that ground. You do that, keep yourself level, impact where you have addressed the ball, impact the club where the ball is addressed, and that will stop the topping.